So we're in Sheffield, the final day of the Christmas showcase with England and Scotland teams involved. We're joined with Martin Peters, who was the EIH director responsible for England and the development pathways, and Murray Johnston, who's Scotland's ice hockey development pathway lead. Gentlemen, welcome to Sheffield, the final day of a big weekend for you both.
It's great. It's been a long weekend, but a great weekend with it.
And Murray, they say that we're here in Sheffield, but it's been up in Dumfries as well, so it's been kind of a two-centre event this weekend.
Yeah, it was a busy couple of days up in Dumfries. Kids get plenty of ice, and yeah, it was a good experience, I think, for everyone.
So for those who don't know, we've had under 11 and under 12s in Dumfries, and here in Sheffield we've had 13s, 14s, 15s and 16s, so plenty of age groups. I think we reckon about 300 players and about 50 staff, so there's like 350 players and staff from across both federations. So a lot of people involved, and it's just been a 4-day festival. How are you, Martin?
It's been an interesting week, because for what both teams has really tried to get out of it, it's been great to see the kids in competitive environment before, like on the England perspective, before we actually go down to final selections, apart from the under 13 age category, who we had to select teams early because of them travelling in February. But for everything we've done down here and looked at the teams, balanced the teams out in most cases, and really played some great hockey against a great competitive setup like we've got in Scotland, so it's been fun.
Yeah, and Murray, getting the teams together is great, but getting them to play competitive games like Martin says, whether it's against England or whatever, just having some competition is all good for the development.
Yeah, the competitive games is what we're after. We try to get as many of them as we can in a season, because that's really what develops the players. Those competitive games have been good in the sense that I'm sure both spoke to the coaches up in Dumfries as well, that there's a few gems have popped up, a few players that they didn't expect to be as good as what they were, and so kids have had a real opportunity to show themselves and show their skills and put themselves right in the shop window.
Yeah, absolutely. And having this mid-season kind of event, obviously we're looking, as Martin says, towards end of season, whether it's showcase, tournaments, onward GB selection, future development. It just sets the players up really well for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so we're going to be making selections for our teams going to Finland and France from these games. Listen, you can look at training sessions and you can look at practices, all that sort of stuff, but it's until you put the kids in a competitive game, which we're getting here, that you see who's who, and you can make better selections. Yeah,
and like you say, Martin, the Quebec team's already picked for going in February, but say there's still places up for grabs, the other England teams, and then looking towards showcase here as well at the end of May.
Yeah, well, we've got our teams either going out to Finland or Riga as well. So the coaches really, as Murray says, looking at the players and seeing who stands out, so they can make their final decisions in January. Then moving from that, then they can start planning a couple of training sessions, getting prepared before they're going away to the tournaments in April. So it's been good from that, and as like Murray says, I think from both sets of teams, being able to find those gems who the coaches really were hoping to find, it's been great, because they've really shone.
Yeah,
and both formats are slightly different formats across Dumfries and down here, but both test the kids really well. So the kids at 2 full-length games across, 4 full-length games across 2 days is a lot for the kids, especially the kind of 13s and the 14s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to see who's got the fitness and who's doing the work and who the athletes are. And the same in Dumfries, it was fast. It was only 2-line hockey. Minute buzzers. The kids at the end, they really had to dig deep to finish and get over the line in the finals.
Yeah. And as part of the development of playing them into, say, getting them ready for tournaments or competitions or whatever, getting them ready for these longer games, fitness, and it's all part of their, like I say, athlete development. They're not just players. We look at them as athletes now.
Yeah, well, that's the big change to our programme this year, is we're trying to develop athletes. I would rather develop an athlete and make them a hockey player than trying to make a hockey player first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think you're taking a similar stance, aren't you?
Very much so. I'm saying it's athlete first, good person second, then the hockey player third, because you get the first two working in conjunction, you tend to have a good hockey player afterwards too.
Yeah. obviously the programme in Scotland, Murray, obviously we know obviously what's going on in England. Can you tell us a bit about how Scotland's developing over the last couple of years, the work being put in up there?
Yeah, well, Jamie did a lot of work in the previous years, setting it up for myself and Tony to take it on, and we've changed a few things. We've changed the National Development Day structure, so we've got the kids on for 2 sessions at the National Development Day. We've really kind of ramped up the off-ice work, brought in PTs and nutritionists and stuff like that, so to really again develop the athlete. And we're giving the kids more opportunity to actually prove themselves and develop. We're also looking at doing a lot more feedback to give the kids more feedback that what they have to work on and stuff like that. We're hoping to grow all of that a lot more over the coming years to really push the programme on. But we've made a good start, I think. Yeah, I think we're doing well.
And it mirrors what's going on here in England, Martin, with kind of the SNC involved in development days and England days and kind of the whole athlete protocol rather than just playing hockey.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're always looking at what we need to bring in and do additional to that as well. I mean, we have got nutritionists lined up to actually do video calls, not just with the players but also the parents, to actually educate and support the players.
Because they go to the shopping.
Exactly, so it's, we've got things like that lined up. I mean, in fairness, thanks to the guys at GB, we've been working with them as well, because they're working with us on what we need to do to help produce better athletes to help towards the GB programme. So it's all been a 3-way link up as such, and that's been growing over the last couple of years as well. We Andy Partridge, Ben Pitchley, Jamie, we've got Tony and Murray now, as well as myself, and other people who's been involved in the past, which has been great because I've got a common goal. That's where we want our athletes to head towards, and ultimately, if we can all sing off the same hymn sheet, it gives us more opportunities to create better players into those pathways. And
that closer work in Murray, something as Martin says has been happening over the last couple of years. It's England versus Scotland on the ice, but off the ice, if we can work together, say feeding into GB, get the whole pathway, that's kind of what it's all about at the end of the day.
We're all after the same end goal. We want to create athletes that can get into the GB programme and hopefully develop into professional players and put a lot more players into the elite league level or higher. And working together, it makes it a lot easier. Yeah, we're both sharing ideas. We're both learning from each other's mistakes or development.
Yeah,
pros, you know.
I mean, that not just is it doing it on the development pathways, but we're actually in conversations about junior leagues and structures and what we can do, like collaboratively going forward. So I think there's a lot more joined up thinking than has probably been in the past. So, but that's again, we've got a common goal. That's what we want to do: give as many players the opportunity to go as far as they want to go.
Yeah. As we are here, it's Monday, coming up to Monday lunchtime, kind of last few games. I think it's over 40 games this weekend. So, apart from sleep tonight, what have you enjoyed this weekend, and what are you looking forward to the rest of the day?
Probably spending all my money in puck stop tomorrow or tonight. Listen, I'm looking forward to actually reviewing a lot of the video. Because I was in Dumfries, I missed the first few days down here, so I'm looking forward to reviewing the video. And seeing where the Scottish players are at and seeing where the English players are at and seeing where we can actually develop the kids and push them forward.
Yeah,
I think likewise. I think looking at, we've got the video, we've worked with Instat again, so we have had videos going out to individual parents so the players can look back on the videos of some of the clips that they've got and what they've done. We've had YouTube working all weekend, which has been great. Commentators really helped us on that to give some communication out, so the players can actually review the games back as well and see where they've done right, where they've done wrong. And the final bit is we'll be looking at downloading all the data from Instat, sharing that data with all the coaches, north and south, and then that'll help, hopefully, with the selection process on giving real data on what's happening in the game rather than just the visual. So it's all going to help take us forward, and it's great having that data available to actually help give us that pathway.
Excellent. Well, it's been great to watch so far, and we'll look forward to the rest of the games here on Monday afternoon. Martin and Murray, thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of the day.
No problem, thank you.